Genesis, chapter 1, verse 3, states, "Let there be light." The letters in the two words, "let there," symbolize the event, Jesus and Peter walking on the water. In "let there," the T symbolizes Jesus, since it resembles a cross. The E symbolizes Peter since an E resembles a coiled up, lowered P. These are the verses in Matthew, chapter 14, describing the event. See if you can identify which parts of "let there" symbolize words or phrases in Matthew. Remember that, with respect to connections between words or phrases in Matthew, and the words, "let there," the following are fair game, if you choose to believe that God's word is that perfect. 1. Parts of words and even parts of letters. 2. Non-contextual meanings of words. 3. The pronunciation of a word sounds like the pronunciation of a letter. 4. As described in the previous slide, a letter can look like the concept it symbolizes. Indeed, not only does "let there" symbolize parts of the event, but it does so in the order in which the phrases in Matthew occur. The purple text is symbolized by the parts of "let there." As always, pause the video now, or at any time, if you wish to enjoy trying to discover the connections yourself. Let's begin with the L in "let." It resembles the right half of a boat, viewed from behind. Peter got out of the boat. The space after the T symbolizes the wind. Although there is no text there to see, one can see that the absence of text still takes up space. The word "immediately" has two connections. 1. What will immediately happen, as shown by the letter following the T. 2. Jesus is a mediator. Jesus stretched out his hand and took hold of him. Can you see how this phrase is symbolized by the T and the H? If so, can you see how many portions of the phrase are symbolized by the T and the H? hints are: 1. Jesus is the Word, from John, chapter 1, verse 1. 2. A word is built from left to right, by connecting letters. 3. Jesus' hands are on the cross. Jesus stretched out H. The letter, T, stretched out to connect to the next letter, H. In Jesus stretched out H, the H is uppercase. However, as the text shows, capital H is lowercase h. Jesus stretched out his H. Jesus is the Word. There is a word, and the H is part of it. Therefore, the H is part of Jesus, so it is something he possesses, something that is his, like his side. Jesus stretched out his hand and took H. Jesus' hand on the cross is near the H, and this uses the same reasoning as one of the hints. The T took, or connected to, the H. Jesus stretched out his hand and took hold of H. This uses the same reasoning as the previous slide. The T took hold of, or connected to, the H. Jesus stretched out his hand and took hold of him. The H resembles a person standing. The curved stroke on the right resembles an arm reaching down to the surface of the water. The H took hold of, or connected to, the E, Peter. Oh, you of little faith. My favorite connection in this video. The two main hints are: 1. In some cases, the pronunciation of a word sounds like the pronunciation of a letter. 2. Letters that look similar. The words O and U correspond with the letters E and R, respectively. And both the E and the R symbolize little faith. Consider the connection between the O and the E. The E symbolizes little faith in two ways. 1. The lowercase e is a smaller circle than the capital O. 2. The E is missing part of its circle. Consider the connection between the word U and the R. The additional hint is, Jesus was above Peter, looking down, in both a spiritual sense and a physical one. Spiritually, Jesus, as God, was above Peter. Physically, 1. The T is taller than the R, symbolizing Peter. 2. Peter had sunk into the water. Let's look at a U, as if looking from above it. The right side of it resembles an R, so the R is a U that is lacking. Why did you? The two main hints are, 1. In some cases, the pronunciation of a word sounds like the pronunciation of a letter. 2. When doing something, there is a connection between the doer and the thing being done. Doubt. The E symbolizes doubt as follows, using synonyms. A synonym for doubt is uncertainty, which has a synonym, insecurity, which has a synonym, timidity. A synonym for timid is shy. As was pointed out at the beginning of this video, the reason the E symbolizes Peter is that an E resembles a coiled up, lowered P. The E also resembles a cowering P. Synonyms for cower are shrink, shy away. That's very fascinating, don't you think? Were those connections intentionally put there by God? Or are they all just coincidences? And are all the connections, among all the videos, mere coincidences? Or is it something in between 100% intentional and 100% coincidence? If it's possible it could be in between, maybe the Bible is worthy of further consideration? Especially when that further consideration can be as enjoyable as discovering for yourself the connections in these videos.